Hi, you've clicked onto today's tropical tidbit for Thursday. Over here in the Atlantic, we've got this low along the frontal boundary, which was named Nicole. The Hurricane Center stripped away her name. She's moving up into North Carolina, and it's going to be a rather big deal for them already. It's a huge deal with the rains that preceded this. Nearly 2 feet of rain in some places in the Carolinas over here. Very nasty situation as moisture has just been funneling up ahead of this like crazy, and now the actual storm, which again, see, the energy is spread out. We got the pressures trying to still lower here, but they're also lowering up way up here where the baroclinic low is. Nicole, or what's left of her, is stuck in between, coming up over here. This is not going to feed back and bomb out. This is not the kind of situation where that can happen because she's stuck where she is right now. But still, the winds on the east side of this are pretty nasty, and really, given the amount of rain that is falling with this is a very tropical situation. And to take the name off of it really gives the wrong message to the people living in here, because this is not over. This is not a non-threat. This is not a non-big deal. This is a big deal, and it's something that should be treated as such. So, take away the name, fine, it's not purely tropical, but nothing ever is in a situation like this, and I don't know, but at any rate, this is going to continue to dump rain and winds on the Carolinas over the next day or so, and they're going to have historic records broken already. Some have been, and you can see some energy being left behind here into the Caribbean, as I was mentioning yesterday, and a big upper low in the middle of the Atlantic ventilating this area and also ventilating this area, which is coming across now. And this is a big area of low pressure and a second area sort of coming into it over here. So this whole area is going to be propagating west-northwestward during the next several days, and it's going to be interesting to see how it interacts as it gets into this area, which is going to continue to be favorable for mischief. And you can see the remains of the monsoon trough with Matthew losing its convection but coming in here now. So we're going to see pressures lowering in here, and we're going to see this coming into this area. So this is going to be something to watch. If we look at the GFS day 7, see what's going on over here. A little bit of low pressure north of Dominican Republic over here. Low pressure hanging back in the Caribbean, and something else behind over here. If we look at the European, by day 5, look what's going on near Puerto Rico over here. You see that the low is starting to develop there. We go out to day 6, you can see it starts to develop a tropical storm, low pressure hanging back near Jamaica, and by day 8 you got a storm here, a hurricane, and low pressure hanging back. You'll notice the big trough over here. That means this goes out, and it certainly does by the end of the run. I won't show you that, but the concern here, the danger is that you have it, you see this, then you see this, and you wonder, well, what if it comes in a little farther south and you get it more in between here? Because if you see models showing low pressure this close to each other, you start to wonder whether you shouldn't be averaging them out to get a more accurate forecast and to have something coming more into this area. And it's interesting to look at, because if we look at the European ensembles day 7, 500 millibar heights and anomalies, you see trough along the west, trough in the east, big ridge building in over the top, big trough in the Gulf of Alaska. We start to wonder, well, is it really going to be this strong in here? Because you have this trough with Nicole, and it's going to be lifting out, and yet the European stubbornly sticks this in here. But remember what happened to set up Matthew and Nicole. The danger is that something like that happens where the trough does actually try to leave, and you have the ridge building in over the top, and instead the trough leaves more. The GFS is more in favor of this. You see the big trough day 7 in the Gulf of Alaska. Notice the ridging and how it extends all the way over the top here. The trough with Nicole is gone, and the danger is that we get more of that setup that we had for Matthew and Nicole, where the ridge builds in over the top, a piece from the trough splits away over the Gulf of Mexico, and then you have something else coming in to the south and gets caught under the ridge and tries to get towards the southeastern United States. And this is the kind of pattern that we should be watching for throughout most of October. We're not necessarily going to be keeping the trough in here directing everything up this way, although I think you're going to see a couple of things come up out in the middle of nowhere, and we'll have another couple recurving systems or so. But you see this over here and the ridge building over the top with the trough in the Gulf of Alaska, and you got to ask yourself, well, I mean, the same pattern that produced Matthew and Nicole, why should it be any different? Why should the trough just decide to sit in here? The GFS is in a little bit more of the camp of what happened before, and this is a classic setup of the cold PDO, and you can see where it has the low pressure focused by day 7 over here. It's a little farther south, so you get something coming farther south and then curving up perhaps the way Nicole and Matthew did. We'll have to see how it goes, but something to keep an eye on. We'll watch this mess as it comes across and propagates into an area that is favorable for development. Will continue to be for the rest of next month. This is the last day of September. We will start winding down the season, but not before we get a few more storms. And with the activity focused in here, you can threaten land, the Caribbean islands, Central America, and the United States. So be on your guard in case something else comes our way. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.